my name is Goodrick from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi everyone, and welcome to our show. Thanks everybody for being here. Say hello to my producer, Mr. HP, my honey. How are you doing today?
I am delightful.
Yes, it's a good Tuesday around here. A little steamy outside, but you know, we've been having fun here at GE. So thank you for being here. If you're new around here, make sure you say hello in the comments, introduce yourself, and hit that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, like our page, and sign up for those notifications. We have a giveaway at the end of the show, so stick around, and then you just have to type in the answer for our giveaway question to be entered into the giveaway. And of course, we are here live, so we love to interact with you throughout the show. Questions, hearts, thumbs up. Anything else, Mr. HP?
I think you hit it on the one. You hit it.
Lots to show you today. As you probably can see, there's a little bit of a Christmas feeling in the air around here. I've got two holiday lines to show you. So look at this. Sandra's here from Calgary. Paula is here from Alaska. Thank you for being here, everybody. We're going to have a good show today. So on the set today, our quilt. Behind me, I have a version of Kimberly using a panel, both for the center and then for some individual blocks, because I have a similar panel to show you today. And this is a perfect pattern to adjust using blocks to surround a panel. So, and behind you, another panel, full-size panel that Laura quilted up. And have you checked out the back of this? Some luxe cuddle on the back. Super cuddly and soft. Show them. Let me see. This beautiful green color. Oh, you can't do it?
Oh, there it is.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, cozy.
It's so cozy. It's so nice. I made one last year. So we'll talk about this later though. But let's kick off with our giveaway question from last week. I asked you, do you consider yourself more of a perfectionist or wing it and stitch it kind of a quilter?
What are you?
Somewhere in between, I think.
Okay.
I like things precise, as you guys know. But with my tools and the way we do our patterns, I think you can kind of wing it a little bit because there's so much wiggle room. Yeah. So I'm kind of in the middle. But our winner is Sir Karen Bauer. And Karen said, I tend to be a perfectionist, although my finished quilts probably look more like I wing it. I tell other quilters to relax. If the mistake can't be seen from a moving train, don't sweat it. But I usually forget to take my own advice. I've been there. Yes, but it comes to a point where, you know what, sometimes I'm more so like it depends on the day. Do I really want to rip this out and fix it, or is it good enough? So sometimes it's just good enough. It's not going to matter. For other quilts, I want to be very precise. So congratulations, Karen. Just send us an email to help@GEQuiltDesigns to claim your prize, and we'll get you your gift card right away. But today is, of course, a dangerous day. This is our block of the month, and which always debuts on the 4th Tuesday of the month. So this is going to be block number 6 out of 9. So we're way past the halfway mark, right? Yeah. So we're on the last third. And so this is a little scrap challenge. If you're new around here, a little scrap challenge. We're working with smaller pieces, but they're all squares and rectangles. And why are they dangerous? A couple of different reasons. Working with your scraps, making something gorgeous out of them is kind of a dangerous hobby. We love it. They can be dangerous, those scraps, because they tend to pile up if we leave them alone to their own devices. But also, I love listening to murder mysteries as I sew. and drive and fly. So this is kind of my nod to some of my favorite characters, female characters that solve those crimes. And so what is number 6 going to be? Which amazing crime solver is Block 6 dedicated to? Let's take a look. Hi, my name is Goodrick from GE Designs, home of the Stripology ruler. The Dangerous Block of the Month was inspired by my love for scraps and in particular using them up and making something beautiful. Also, I love listening to mystery books when I sew. So let's dive into this Block of the Month. Block 6 is dedicated to Zoe Bentley, who is the fictional character created by Mike Omer in only a 3-part series, but I really enjoyed reading them. She is a forensic psychologist specializing in profiling. Working for the FBI, she is relentless in going after her suspects and getting them caught. First off, make sure you have your pattern printed out and look at the cutting instructions. We have 2 ways of cutting your background, whether you're cutting from a single fabric or just from your scraps. All of the background fabric pieces have letters assigned to the sizes, and then as you do your color scraps, each piece has a number, which we refer to as we go through the pattern. So I got all of my fabric cut, so here is a photo of my pieces before I started. I like to use my organizing clips and stickers to make sure they're all labeled and ready to grab when I need them. So starting with step number 1, we need a 1.5 by 7 inch background rectangle D and sew that to a 2.5 by 7 and 7 inch fabric B. That's the number 2 rectangle, as we can see here in the photo. And once I had this sewn and pressed, I subcut that into 1.5 inch units. And once you have those done, you take them and you add a background rectangle, which is going on into, let's turn this the right way, going on into step 2, a background rectangle this is background rectangle A to the number 1 fabric A on the other side. So each side of the subcut units from step 1. And we're going to make 4 of those. Moving on into step number 3, where we take those 4, we are first just going to sew them together, just like this, 2 units like this. And then we're going to press according to the arrows, press this way. So I have 2 pieces here. And then we're going to join those pieces. So we're going to sew this together into that center block. Piecing this one and then joining the 2, I actually spun the seams on the back so that they would nest and lay nice and flat. So that is our center block. Going into our step number 4, we're going to do some strip piecing as well. So with all of your fabrics, so we have a background rectangle E, then we're going to sew that to the colored rectangle C from fabric C, which is number 3. It'll be fabric C, D, E, and F. So we're making 4 different ones if you have 4 different fabrics for that unit. From there, we're going to subcut those into 2.5 inch wide units. So if you have all of them, I like to lay them all down on my mat so I can cut them all at the same time. And so I like to then align my line on my ruler with a stitch line or the seam so that I know these guys are going to be straight. So then I'm just going to follow my black squares on my ruler, 2.5 inch increments, and cut those. We're going to get 4 from each color because we're going to make 4 of these blocks. 4 blocks, and then we are going to assemble these very similar to what we did with the center block, making these types of pinwheels. So we're going to make 2, so 2 and 2 together first, like that, and then we're going to join them, and I like to spin the seams again on the back. You can press either direction if you want to, if you prefer to do that. So once we have these done, we are in step 5, moving on to step number 6. We are going to sew a 4.5 by 1.5 inch background rectangle B to one side of the unit. We're just pressing outwards. And then we're gonna take a 1.5 by 5.5 inch background rectangle C to the top. So this is a B and a C. So that to, or I show that to the bottom. It really doesn't matter. Well, it kind of does matter. Make sure you have all of your units. So this should be 4 different ones. Once you have these done, make sure they're always sewn to the same side. So one side is the short, and then the long side is always on the same side. So that matters. Once you have these done, in step 6, we're going to move on, set these aside, and move on to our step number 7. And for that, you have to make a lot of strip sets. So we make 5 different strip sets, and I have a photo of how I made them so you know how they're going to turn out. So first part of step 7, we are using the F background rectangles, the 4.5 by 7s, and we're sewing one side or to both sides, either the fabric G rectangles number 4, and then the other one we're sewing the fabric H rectangles number 6. And then we have the sets in the middle, which is the background rectangle G, and which is the 2.5 by 7. And then we also have background rectangles that are 1.5 by 7. That's rectangles D. And then the little strips in the middle, again, are fabric G and H. And then we have the furthest on the right. That is where we use the 2.5 by 7 inch background rectangles G. We sew that to each side of a 2.5 inch by 7 fabric H. So once all of these are done, we all subcut them into 1.5 inch wide units. And that is going to be, you're going to be able to get 4 from each of those. And make sure you stack them and be efficient with it. So what I'm going to show you here is what we got out of it, which just how I laid them out in that photo. Here was the largest center and the middle ones, and then of course the one that had the 3 2.5 inch units. And now we're going to assemble those into the blocks in step 8. So we're going to start with this side with the fabric G, and so as you can see, we're going to create this chain effect here. These 3 come together, and then it would be these 2 on the other side. So once you have these, I like to sew 2 seams at a time. I sew these 2 pressing towards these units, just like the images show. And then I added this one to one side and then joined them. You should be able to nest all of those seams. So when they're ready, you should have 4 blocks like this. So that comes after step number 8. And then once 8 is done, all that's left is just assembling our block. So I'm going to leave this one right here since it's not sewn together yet, so that we can have this one here on the side. And we are turning, oh, it needs to be turned. I'm going to move it over to this way because we want to make sure that the fabric here, the fabric H, that needs to be on the outside. Or actually fabric G is on the outside. Like this. And then we're creating this little, let me move this so you can see it. And there, so we are seeing we have the same color fabric that goes around like this. In the center, we're gonna put our center block. Like that. And then for the outer edges, we are just putting our 4 pinwheels, little spinners, and a 4th one that I haven't assembled yet. That is going to be here. And once you're happy with the arrangement of the colors, you should be good to sew them together. So we would be sewing this together in just horizontal rows, very easy, simple, and then joining the rows following the pressing in the pattern. And block number 6 is ready to go. So there it is, block number 6, and you know, it's getting you closer and closer. I know some of you are scared of those little pieces. Don't be scared. It's all straightforward. It's good, you know, fine hand-eye coordination, working with little stuff, and using up some of your scraps. It's a bonus. So you can always try just one block. You don't have to do all of them. Always try just one, all right? Any questions on the Dangerous, sir? Beautiful block, thank you. Off to the scrap bin tonight, Janice says. I love it. So now we have a little segment. We've been introducing you to our wonderful Stripology shop partners that are quilt shops around the country, around the world, that have embraced the Stripology culture, that are going to be the shops that are going to carry all of the Stripology products, books, patterns, and of course, number one, have some amazing classes and education throughout. And it is time for one of our great partners located in Illinois. They're a suburb or an outskirts of St. Louis, so southern, what is it, southwest corner of Illinois? And so it's time to visit Daniela and crew at Warm and Cozy in Columbia, Illinois. So let's take a look at Warm and Cozy.
Hi, I'm Danielle. Hi, I'm Sadie, and we're Warm and Cozy Quilting, located in Columbia, Illinois. We'd love to tell you about our shop and show you around. Let's go!
Columbia is a small town, only 20 minutes outside of St. Louis. We're a multi-generational, family-owned quilt shop. We pride ourselves on providing excellent customer service to the quilting community. We want all of our guests to feel like an important part of our family, because they are.
We only sell 100% high-quality cotton fabric from trusted brands you know and love. We cut most of our pre-cuts in-house. That way our customers know they're getting the most out of their fabric. We are always getting new fabric in, so be sure to visit us online and in-store often. Our staff are well-versed quilters too, and happy to help you with any project, from fabric selection, patterns, notions, techniques, or just an understanding ear.
Warm and Cozy Quilting offers a wide variety of classes to help our community grow their skills and create beautiful one-of-a-kind quilts. We recently expanded our classroom space and now can take up to 14 guests in our newly revamped space. We also host events like open sews and sew-alongs. Need a place for you and some friends to sew? You can rent out our classroom. We are proud to be a Stripology partner shop. We are excited to be able to bring you the latest from GE Designs and the visionary that is Gudrun Erla, designer of the game-changing Stripology rulers and techniques. Check out our Stripology wall.
Speaking of classes, we have a certified Stripology instructor on staff. Danielle Sivis is an expert on all the ways that Stripology can help reduce cutting time and improve accuracy. Having trained and learned methods and techniques from Goodrick, lessons from Danielle will have you reaching for your Stripology tools for every project. Be sure to check out our Stripology Club, our Littles Club, or Master Your Stripology Rulers classes here at Warm and Cozy. Or reach out if you want to bring Stripology to your quilting group. We love to give presentations. Warm and Cozy is also a certified Janome, Handy Quilter, and Laura Star dealer. We offer a wide range of machines to fit all budgets and projects. Additionally, we also have an in-house service technician for our Janome and Handy Quilter machines. Our goal is to provide the best support when you purchase a machine from us. We offer continuing education opportunities so that you can feel confident using your brand new machine. Quilters know the right tools matter.
Have a quilt that needs to be quilted? We can help you with that too. From piecing to quilting to even binding, we're here for you. Not local? We will absolutely take quilts by mail. If you want to finish it yourself, we rent out our long arm machines. During this process, you will always have someone ready to assist you.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. If you want to know more about our shop, visit us at warmandcozyquilting.com.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, or stop in and see us. We'd love to help you make something beautiful.
That is such a fantastic store, amazing people. I love the family that works there. I mean, they all work there. I think it's the owners, there's the older generation and the younger generation. The kids are there too.
Awesome.
It's such a great place to visit and great people. So check it out, Columbia, Illinois. We even had a nice lunch there when we went to visit.
We did.
Yeah, small little, cute little town to visit. So check it out if you're ever in the area. They've got some expert advice at Warm and Cozy. All right, it's time to move on to, we got lots to talk about today, Let's start with we have had a little special going on with one of our favorite designers, E. Bond. Her last collection called Lineage, Fabric by Free Spirit. We made an Elvira quilt, and so there's been a little special going on. If you purchase the fabric bundle to make the Elvira, you get the free pattern. Get the pattern free with it as a PDF. So the last chance to get this deal is today. So I just wanted to remind you. eBond has a new collection coming out. We can't show it until probably October. I've gotten a sneak peek. But it won't be shipping until next summer, I do believe. Either June or August, I don't remember. But very excited about her stuff. She's just amazing work. So check that out if you're interested in securing. We just have a few bundles left, so not much left of this. And so secure one if you wanted to make that quilt. Now we are also getting closer to our FamFest, our fall celebration that takes place in September. And we have something to share today. Now, the festival goes on from September 10th through the 13th. We start on the 10th with some classes. I am teaching a full day class on the 10th and then a half day class on the 11th. And it is time to take a look at the projects. We always said in the enrollment or in the product page is that these are going to be brand new patterns, never before seen, new techniques. And they sure are. So I have them done. And for the full day class, this is, like I said, not published. So the only way to get this pattern is to take the class for now. The class pattern for the full day class, Wednesday, September 10th, is called Frida. And here she is. Frida is made with, you can use 10-inch squares. Of course, I just used a bundle. And then a little accent fabric, and I absolutely love it. So Mr. HB got this quilted for me. And we forgot to look up the pattern, the quilting pattern. Oh, malachite, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. And the fabric that I used for mine, now if you're already registered for the class, you will be getting an email from us later this week with all your fabric requirements. And if you want us, if you're traveling and want us to get a kit ready for you, we can. So this one I made with Berry Market, which is a 10-piece collection. Yes, I cut my 10-inch square from that. And then I just needed a few more for my quilt, so I just pieced some of the remnants into so I could cut some 10-inch squares. And then you need an accent fabric for the little squares. And for that one, I used the Grunge Flamingo. It was just a perfect, perfect accent color for this. Super fun pattern. I really love how it turns out. It's going to be very versatile. And so I'm very excited about this class. Who's coming to class? Let's show them the back of this because I use this fabric collection comes with a wide back, and look how cute that is. I just love this one. You can see the pattern better. We used a kind of a medium gray thread for the quilting, and it's a perfect color. Perfect color. So this is Berry Market, and her name is Frida. What do you think? Miss Frida. So then for the half-day class, which is going to be Thursday morning, that is September 11th, there is another brand new little pattern, which uses just one of our little bundles. And this one, you might have seen a different version of her before, but this is Little Svana. So I just finished her up. She's not quilted yet, but I absolutely love how she turned out. For this colorway, I used the Olive You little bundle because it has equal amounts of lights and darks, but of course they don't have to have that. It was just really fun to do. I just love the freshness of the colors. I actually do have quilts that match this, so I just love that part. So this one is next on the long arm, and I'm just going to bind it up. You can, of course, add a border to it. You don't have to. It is such a nice size. Again, never before published pattern, only available for the class. So this is Little Svana. So again, if you are registered for the classes, you'll get an email from us with all your fabric requirements. And this one would be easy just to come into the warehouse and pick a little bundle and go from there. So we are excited for our FamFest, our classes. So what do you think of Little Svana? I know you're going to ask me this. When is the pattern going to be available if you're not taking the class? So maybe a little bit later in the fall, early winter, but that's our class projects for FamFest. Very excited. Okay, so we are also getting ready to hit the road. Well, not really the road. We're going to take off for our London Calling tour. So hopefully some of you are joining us for our trip to England. We're going to start in Birmingham and go to the Festival of Quilts. I've got some great connections there, so I got some things lined up, some surprise things lined up. And we're going to tour the countryside a little bit and then head our way to London and, of course, explore all the spots that are featured in our London Calling quilt and more. So we are very excited. We leave next week, so just over a week until we start our adventure. I designed a little commemorative quilt that everybody that is on the tour gets. Kind of just a little small wall hanging with some of the features from the larger quilt. It's called London Vibes. So for now, that will only be available for the folks that are joining us on the tour. And who knows, this might be available for others later on. But I'm excited. So if any of you are joining us in England, let us know in the comments and see. Oh, there she is. Debbie's ready. Debbie's ready. We also have a lot of friends and fams across the ocean that are, from the UK, Scotland, that are meeting us in Birmingham. I'm excited about that. I get to see some of our wonderful people in person for the first time. and not always the first time, but yes. So we're excited. We're gonna have a good meetup for all of the GE folks and the stripologists across the pond, I guess. So any questions, let us know. Yeah, we're excited. We're excited. What are you looking most forward to?
Buttered biscuits.
Shortbreads?
Shortbreads.
Yeah. We found out that, you know, our hotel is not too far from Harrods, so I think that's the first stop for you.
5 cans.
Yeah, I already scoped out what the subway stop is or the tube stop is, so it's going to be the first spot he hits. Stocking up with some shortbreads. I love it.
Some shortbreads.
So we have a lot of great fabrics, as I talked about earlier in the show, on our to show you guys. I wanted to mention that we have restocked our Advent calendar panels. The one that sold out right away, I did a tutorial on the Advent calendar panels, how you can make those as a quilt as you go. Here's the one I made in the video. Now this is a video now, it was a tip of the day, and it is now a standalone on YouTube, so go find it. Can you show them the cover so they know what to look for? Now these are, of course, the Advent calendar made from one single layer of fabric, but you fold them up and then you do it just quilt as you go. So it's super quick. It's a great, great little gift for if you got kids or coworkers, and it's really fun to do because you can put all kinds of little treats in the pockets, or, you know, maybe little small beverage bottles or whatever floats your boat. Maybe spools of thread, whatever it is. So we have a few versions. We have the Scandi back in stock. So here's the Scandi that I showed you back when we got this in. It sold out really fast, and I showed this in the video. So again, you just fold these up and create the pockets, and you can use them year over year. Just a great little gift. I mean, Johan had so much fun with this last year when he came to visit the warehouse in December. So we put little chocolates in a pocket, and you had to find it every day. So that was great. So we have now 4 we have available. We restocked the Scandi, and we have, if you want a little bit more winter themed, we have this one. I don't remember what this one is called, but beautiful, from Dear Stella. So again, it's the same concept. You fold up and make the pockets. This just has this beautiful winter scene in the blue colors. And then we have the Jolly Saint Nick, which is the one that I made this one out of. That one is also restocked. We got another bolt of this, so that we have more of this one now. And we have a brand new one. This is Jolly Saint Nick. This is how they look before you sew them. And then we have a brand new one, which is called Vintage Christmas. And this one is really cute too. So it has this vintage header with Santa, and just love the patterns, the prints. Let me show you. Here he is. And again, you fold up to do the pockets. What's really cute, you have these little tags here that you can use. You can make little gift tags, or they can be quilt labels, but this is how you would fold these up and make them. So find that YouTube video if you're interested. I take you through how you can make these quilt as you go. Very quick, very easy, and binding on. And it's a great little gift. Perfect to take to the office if you have an office to go to or something, or workplace. But one of those great things to have as a gift, and really fun to do with kids, I think. All right, any questions on those? Love the Advent calendars. So some more panels. So we have not just the Advent calendars, we have a beautiful tree skirt panels, actually 2 different ones. And these are canvas fabric, so not quilting cotton, so they're a little bit thicker. And so you can use those as just, you don't have to quilt them, so you can just use them online and just use like a bias tape around the edges. You can use them as a tablecloth or a tree skirt, so you can cut into it and cut a hole in the middle. Here's one of them. This one is called, is this Merry Christmas Darling? Yes, this is Merry Christmas Darling that you have right there. I have that right here too. You want to put the whole picture up because it's kind of big. Hard for me to show you. Yeah, it's that gorgeous. So that's the poinsettias, and oh, is this Holiday Joy? This is Holiday Joy. Yeah, sorry. And then we have another same size, but this one is the St. Nicholas tree skirt pattern. Beautiful. Did I show the Merry Christmas Darling? Is that this one? This is the Nicholas. I'm confused with these names, but that's okay. This is the St. Nicholas. So again, both of these are canvas. So let me show you here on the overhead. So, which means they're going to be a little bit thicker. They're going to drape really nicely. So what we did, I actually had this idea, and I gave this idea to Laura, and she ran with it. We did a reversible one. So batting in between, she lined them up and quilted them just beautifully so that we have, and then bound them so they can be table toppers. So we have double-sided topper for the table. And I just love that. So with it being quilted and being canvas, it's going to be thick. It's going to lay really nice and flat. But drape wise, if you don't want to quilt it, you can just cut it up with that canvas. It is, of course, heavier, it's thicker, and the drape is going to be really, really nice. So great options for this. And I thought we would, we've never had the canvas table toppers or tree skirts before, but I really enjoy this, and this was super fun to play with. Laura did such a great job on this. Awesome. I don't think I would have been able to line this up so great, but she's a master.
You
Love
want
it.
to show Merry Christmas, darling?
Huh?
You want to show Merry Christmas, darling?
I think so. I think, isn't that the? Oh, that's the one behind you. That's what I'm missing.
Yes,
that's what I'm missing.
Yes, darling.
Yes, darling. Merry Christmas, darling. That's the large panel right behind you. So this one is 58 by 72. This is where I'm confused because I couldn't figure out what this was. So 58 by 72. That's enough for a great size lap quilt. We just quilted it up with Minky on the back, bound it, and there you go. Everybody's going to fight over this one on the couch for Christmas. But this is by Lella Boutique from Moda. We've had them last year too. Some people do a little chenille tape on the letters, makes it really fun. I didn't even bother with that, just quilted it, and it's great. It's also works great for a backing. If you want to have a double-sided quilt, it works really, really great. So we have a few of those left, but I wanted to show you too, if you wanted to just back these, like quilt them and back them like regular fabric. So these, you could just sew a bias tape and not have a backing. So it could just single layer, but of course it's gonna just be this on the back. But we had a couple of coordinates added so that we have in 1 yard. So if you wanted to add a backing, we have the open poinsettias in the cream. So it really is the same artwork, just an all over beautiful poinsettia print. And then for the blue one, the St. Nicholas, we also brought in this gorgeous snowflake print in this blue, St. Nicholas Snowflake Blue. That would work great as either just the backing or obviously great for bindings as well. These would be great for coordinating napkins or anything like that. So these are brand new. Great for a round table, of course. And so check these out for some fast and easy holiday sewing. And then we have two collections, two bundles that I'm excited to show you. The first one is called Winter Friends. So this is the, well, it's not the quilt behind me, but it's the same designer, Deb Strain from Moda. Beautiful, very similar colors as this one. This one I did, I think, 2 years ago, 2 winters ago. that was my Christmas creation. So, but the panels are exactly very similar size. So you could do something very similar. Can you put the photo of the whole quilt up? There it is. And so you see there's a square panel in the middle. And that is very similar to the panel in Winter Friends. It's a little snowman. And then there's some smaller panels. In this one, there's only 4 smaller square. So they're a little bit larger squares than in the previous one. So, but still, you could just pick a pattern, a great one like the Kimberly, and cut these out and use those in place of blocks, and then surround the main one with some blocks as well. So this is the panel, but let me show you the actual bundle. So beautiful colors, beautiful fabrics. We'll start here on the darker side with that main print with this black colorway. So Deb Strain is really just, I love her artwork every day, and usually when she does black, it's a very pure black background, which just creates such great contrasts in the art and in the fabrics. So we have 3, I've kind of split this into 4 color groupings, 3 blacks, starting with this beautiful branches and pine cones. We have little pine trees with little white stars. So pretty. Again, you can see that really deep dark background, and then when you pop that red on top with the cardinals, it's just gorgeous. Such a great contrast. So this is the 3rd black print, and then we go into our reds. We have the pine trees in the red, and I really love that we have this hue of green and then this kind of a bluish green, which is really, really pretty. We have some snowflakes on the red, nice and sharp white, pure white on the, just creates such great contrast. And then I love this one, almost like a tulle type of a print. And so just these rows of art and white on red, really, really pretty. Then we go into some of our greens. So I love that there's different hues of greens. Like I showed you, we have that main print in this lighter green. And then we go into the snowflake print, and it's a different hue. Beautiful, great transition, and gives the collection and the bundle just a little more life and movement. And then we have the snowman print in an even darker green. So you have a shade difference here that's going to give you some life and fun. Then we go into the off-white and taupe. So there's a little taupe colorway, which I love. So this one is the more novelty type print with the snowman and the cardinals. Such a cute print, and it's just a subtle taupe. And it just makes the snowman show up so nicely in the white on top of it. So I really love how that one turned out. And then we have the cardinals, just like the black one. And this one is a lighter cream, as you can see. And last but not least, we have that same beautiful main print with the branches and the pine cones in the cream. And there you can see these beautiful hues of green between the light green, the darker green, and then that bluish green color, just gorgeous. So this is Winter Friends 12-piece collection. These are the half yards. We have a half yard bundle, we have a fat quarter bundle, and we have a little one, which is 12 different fat 12s. That's a 6 by 21 inch piece of fabric. Very versatile as well. And let's take a look at some of my fabric pulls. First off, we have 2 great prints in 1 yard that come from the line. That is that snowflake print in the green and the red, and we have fog, the fog color, that taupe color. This is Winter Friends Fog, Falling Snow. And then we have a cream one, or they call it Snowy White, Winter Friends Snowy White. Just love that. So those two go with the line, not in the bundle, but a great addition. So then a great perfect choice if you wanted to do a background, if you wanted to possibly do something half lights and darks, you can add these in with these guys and have a really great quilt. For the blacks, we want to go pretty pure black. This is chalk and charcoal in the black, so that can really get that deep, dark, pure black. And then also the Shadow Play Black Beauty. This is a great print that was a part of our color club, and it's a perfect match in here. So for our greens, starting with, I did a shade difference in the greens, starting with the darkest one. This is Nitty Gritty in the Forest, and I really, really love that because it has the lights and darks in there. I picked a medium color that hits kind of the medium. This is Bumbleberry's new Forest Green. And then that lightest dry brush green is a great choice that hits that lighter but still works really well with the others. For the reds, I chose dry brush in the cherry, deeper, a little bit deeper, darker red, and then thatched in the ruby. More medium, hits that color perfectly. So then I threw in some more of those creams if you wanted something on a scale. So something from the dirtiest kind of taupey grunge, roasted marshmallow works well. And then in between would be a dry brush whipped cream, kind of the lightest, but with a little bit of cream to it. Looks great too. And then this is a more creamy, this is grunge winter white. So a little bit lighter, but still works really nicely, as you can see with this one. That's a perfect tonal match from the line. For some accent color, I wanted to give you some options, something that's not in here. I chose a nice brown to pull out some of the pine cone colors. So this is Thatched Cocoa. I really like that in there, pulling that out. And then I did a couple of grays. So one would be Grunge Ash. That's that bluish gray color on some of the branches and berries. So I really like that in here. It gives it a really cool, more cooler color combination. And then a medium one you can use as well. This is Grunge in the Grease color. It's closer, a little bit darker than the taupe in here, but it's on the same spectrum as far as value. And so that would be another great option. And one more, just because this is new and we just got these today. A great diagonal stripe. This one is perfect because it's white, green, and red. Mary Noment's diagonal stripe green. Love that. So that could work in here perfectly for an accent or binding. I forgot to show you, we do have a wide back for Winter Friends by Deb Strain. So this is that Winter Friends Snowy White. So very similar to the color on this one. Actually, it's the same, pretty much the same. Have that in 108s. So a great option to use for wide backs with Winter Friends by Deb Strain for Moda. And I wanted to show you too, we got another colorway of that beautiful stripe, the Noment's, Mary Noment's. We have a blue and red and white. So this one would be great for some patriotic projects as well. All right, our next line is by Figo Fabrics, and a winter one too, but really kind of a modern take on it. And I really love this. So this is called Snowfall, and the designer is Pippa Shaw. And this is Figo Fabrics. So I'm going to start here on the lighter side because this is one of my favorite prints here. Just gorgeous trees. Now some of the prints have just a little bit of metallic, and it's silver metallic, which I kind of love, and it's really nice and fresh and modern. So beautiful trees. Love the colorway, more softer colors. So I feel like this is can kind of take you more into winter, not Christmas, even though there are some Christmas themed prints. We have some great plaids in these wonderful colors. This is the green and gray. I'm going to show you more of these trees. So pretty. Then we have this snowflake print. Very light. You probably have a hard time seeing it because it's just this light gray on a white, but it's a beautiful print. I love the large scale. And another light one with a darker gray snowflake. It's not the same print or same pattern, but still bigger, and just a little bit of metallic in this one. There's no metallic in these two, just a little bit of silver in these. Going into this star print, so all of this is metallic, all of the little starbursts, and this is kind of a gray, a greenish gray color that I really love. And then we have a geometric that is little flying geese. And so again, silver gray, and there's silver metallic in here. Just a little more heavier on the metallic in these two prints than the other ones. We have the same starburst in a charcoal, a little bit darker gray, almost black here, background base on it. The camera is having a hard time focusing on it. Must be the metallic. Look how cute that is. It's so cute. And then going into some of the prints and more color, I'm gonna go from, here is the one that is probably more holiday because it's these ornaments. And I love this charcoal background and these soft colors that go with it. I love the little bit of that burnt orange in there, but very muted, so it's just so pretty with it. And then we have another plaid in that color to pull out those colors. Really pretty. I was cutting this myself in the warehouse yesterday. What? I get to do that very rarely, but I absolutely love it. And here's another favorite print, these big poinsettias with that deep color in here. Look how gorgeous this is. This is so pretty. Very kind of a Scandinavian minimalistic feel, but modern, holiday, winterish. So love this one. And I was actually, when I was cutting, you know, when I get to handle fabric like that, I'm just thinking, what would I make? What would I make? Look at these tiny ornaments. There's a little bit of metallic in this one, a little metallic, no metallic in these two. And then the last print is a 12-piece collection, is this deep, it's kind of a green, gray green with all these branches on it. It's such a pretty print. So what would you guys make out of this one? I'll tell you what I would make. I think I might make is a tailor. I think a tailor would be great in here with this fabric. Tailor or something like GG or something like that. I don't know. So we have this one available also in fat quarters, and let me show you my fabric pull with it. I'll start on the lighter side. And that is going to be a little bit more silver. Dry brush silver was one of our Color Club ones. There is kind of a silver undertone in these, even though this, in the base, it almost is white. But I love having that silver feel, kind of gives you that holiday silver bell situation. Moonscape Vapor has a little bit of a pattern to it. You can see little dots going across. And then let's just go right into some of the grays. Gray hues here. We have Spotted Charcoal is that base color here. It's almost a perfect match with that. Another option would be the Thatched in the Shadow, a little bit darker. And then it's a little bit more brown, but this is Grunge Winter Coal, but because this one is not a pure black, I think it would work really well with it. So then some of the greens to tone with these beautiful soft greens. I would say the darkest hue would be the Grunge in the Fur. A little bit more dark, deep olive color. In between would be the deco stitch and the laurel. Love this hue. I've used this fabric so much and I never get enough of it. So that one would be beautiful. And I love this one as well. This is a Figo, so it is a perfect match because they do match their lines with their basics, stash, and the check in the sage color. That's another great option. Now, to add a little bit more color, pulling out that beautiful orange here, I pulled a glaze in the ochre that would work perfectly as a little accent for just a little hint of color, or a little more toned down is the grunge in the yam color. And if you don't want to go so far as adding the orange or the burnt orange, you can tone it down with a little bit more of a tan. This is Spotsy in the taupe. I know it's more tan than taupe, but that's the color name. And then the other option would be Cottage Cloth Creamery. Love that one too. This one is definitely more on the taupe side, so looks great in there as well. So this is our Snowfall. And there is not a 108 that comes with this. However, we just got these in, and I think this one is perfect. These are from Wyndham. Snowfall Fog White Back. Look at that silvery gray. It just works perfectly with the snowflakes with this collection. So that will be a great option for a wide back. We do have that in a icy blue as well, which is gorgeous. Maybe not with this line, but these would both be gorgeous for a winter themed quilt. So again, this is Snowfall by Pippa for Figo Fabrics. So beautiful winter fabrics. Are you ready for some winter sewing? I am. Or at least I'm going to secure myself some of this fabric that I can sew in the winter. I love doing that. So we've got a question for you, giveaway question, our last bit of the show. All you got to do is answer it in the comments and you're entered into the giveaway for next week for a $25 gift card. Here's my question. Do you organize your fabric by color, by collection, by designer, maybe by size, or is it just an organized chaos? Let us know in the comments. I think I've talked about this with my collection. I like to organize by color, but also by size. So I know exactly what sizes I have in which place. So, but love to hear from you. Now my warehouse is organized in a whole different way, alphabetically, by color. And so I get both spectrums by collection. But our next shows are coming up. This one show tomorrow, One Eared Wednesday, July 23rd. That's going to be at 9:30 a.m. And Jody's got some great stuff for you. And then we have Happy Friday coming this Friday. That's July 25th at 12 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, we'll be here a week from today, July 29th, Tipsy Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So that's our show today. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Are we good? Are we forgetting something, Mr. HP?
I think we got it.
That's awesome. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Lay your fabric here, cut it right there. Home of the Stripology, feel that vibe. Quilter's Paradise. Home of the Stripology, feel that vibe. She designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. Quilter's Paradise.